Hello students, welcome back to our YouTube channel Easy Pathashala. So today in this video we are going to have a quick revision and summary of the chapter Glimpses of India, a baker from Goa. So this chapter we are going to complete in under 10 minutes. So we are going to have the summary of this chapter. You are going to have all the keywords that you have to write to impress the evaluator. I have been posting about these chapters. All the chapters on first slide are available on our YouTube channel Easy Pathashala. So please don't waste your time. Look at all these questions. You have 95 plus scoring strategy and complete roadmap also posted in our YouTube channel. So don't miss that. So let's cover this entire chapter. By the end of the video, you'll be able to answer the questions from this chapter. So you'll be also having most asked and most expected extract based questions in order to score 40 on 40 in your literature part in your CBSE English 2025 examination paper. Right, let's get into the video. So first we are going to cover the summary of the chapter. So what is this basically? So the lesson begins with how the narrator's elders often recall the time when Goa was under the rule of the Portuguese. They talk how the importance of bakers is still maintained in their villages even after the Portuguese have left. So they are known as padders in Goa. The mixtures, molders, and their time-tested furnaces continue to serve the people of Goa with their famous bread loaves. So it is possible that the original ones may not exist, but their profession being continued by their sons. The thud of their bamboo stick can still be heard in some parts of the village. The same jingling thud would wake the narrator and his friends during their childhood days, who would go running to him without brushing or washing their mouth properly, a profitable profession, managing to keep their families joyous and prosperous. So, what you got from this chapter exactly is that this is about the narrator who used to live in Goa. Okay, their family had a background of bakers, and he was just remembering and recalling all the things when they used to live in Goa during the rule of Portuguese, right? So they are talking about their bread loaves that was very famous for their jingling sound that they did with the bamboo stick is still very famous and being heard in the Goa even till date, right? So it was a maid servant of the house who collected the loaves while children sorted out the bread bangles for themselves. Bakery products have importance in their culture and traditions of Goa. Bowl or sweet bread is a part of marriage gifts, cakes and bolinas or coconut cookies are eaten at every festival, and the lady of the house prepares sandwiches at her daughter's engagement. So earlier bakers wore a unique frock of knee length known as kabai, but during the narrator's childhood days, they wore a shirt and trousers of length slightly shorter than the usual ones. They generally collected their bills at the end of every month. Bakery has continued to be a very rich culture of Goa. So, what is the conclusion of this Glimpses of India is that in this chapter, Glimpses of India, we discovered that the enchanting landscapes and unique features of various regions in India have been told here. But main summary of this chapter lies under the baker of Goa, who was telling about how the Goa and the bakery is very rich in culture and plays a very rich part in the Goa's culture, right? So they talk about all the bread loaves, they talk about their bakery, their bamboo stick jingling sounds, and all these things which you have to mention in the questions asked from this chapter, right? So basically, this chapter has been narrated in such a way that we get all the glimpses of India. It means all the important and tourist spots and how beautiful our place India is, so that we don't move anywhere outside. Instead, we can see the beauty that resides inside our own country, which many people don't do, right? So it has very unique features that is also highlighted in this chapter. So there are numerous captivating places to explore within India before venturing to discover the outside destinations, the destinations which are abroad, right? So this was about this chapter. You're having a very real quick summary of this chapter so that you don't waste much time. Students, you don't have the time to read line by line of every chapter. So whatever you have to do is just go to the summary, go to the conclusions, go to the question answers. You should know all the keywords that has to be written, and then you are all set. The extract based questions that may be most expectedly asked from this chapter has also be added in every video that I have created for first flight chapters, right? If you have not gone through the chapters, please go to the English first flight playlist that we had that has been posted in our YouTube channel Easy Patashala. Please see it, share it, like it, take the maximum inputs that you can get from the video, because they are very useful and they are not at all your time based, right? You're completing every chapter under 10 minutes with all the important things covered inside it. You don't have to touch the book again if you know this, right? So please don't take it lightly. You are having 40 marks for literature. Please do it, right? So the keywords which you have to use to impress the evaluator are reminiscing nostalgically, which means thinking fondly of the past, remembering everything related to past, right? Loaves, which means bread-shaped loaves. We say bread loaves and all. It's a bread-shaped thing and baked in a single piece. Then molders, which means a person who shapes the dough, molds it into a particular shape. Then heralding, which means announcing something. Then padre, which means Portuguese word for a baker. Baker in Portuguese were called as padre. Then rebuke, which means an expression of disapproval or scolding. Parapet, which means a low protective wall or railing. Bolinas, which means another name for coconut cookies. Invigorating, which means strong in this context of this chapter. Then mainstream, which means a tradition that most people follow. Mainstream thing. Next, tales of valor, which means stories of courage and bravery, usually in a war. Then descent, which means origin. You are going to see a lot of things in this chapter, a lot of keywords. If you know these keywords, any question asked, you will not be surprised enough, and you'll be very, at a very ease to write the answers. Then, most decorated, having received the maximum number of awards for the bravery in war. Mischief, you already know, which is playful behavior. Next is Mahout, which means person who work with, ride, and tend to elephants. Canoeing, which means traveling in a river with a canoe. Then, rappelling, which means going down a cliff by sliding down a rope. Panoramic view, which means a view of wide area of land, which you all know we use in our cameras too. As far as I could see, which means for as long distance until something in its way comes, which is so far, and we can just see it. Cannot see it until it completely disappears from our view. Then, dwarfing, which means causing to seem small or insignificant in comparison to something. Next, billowing, which means moving or flowing outwards. See, students, we almost everyone knows, like 80% of the students knows the chapter. He reads the chapter, he'll go write something there. But only 20% of the students, which turns to be topper, they use all these keywords in their answers and manage to get almost 100 out of 100 in English CBSE board examinations every year. So you have to be that 20% of students who could cover their entire keywords and then go and present it in a very rich way in your paper. As soon as the evaluator tries to correct your paper, she should be very much impressed by your things, and she should not able to cut your marks, even half marks. She should not be able to cut it, right? Next, wait, which means change direction. Banish, which means got rid of. Ascetic, which means characterized by severe self-discipline and abstention. Prune, which means cut away from a tree. Sprouting period, when a plant sends out new growth. So the extract based question which is most expected, there is only one extract based question that might be expected from this chapter. So we kids would be punished aside with a mild rebuke, and the loaves would be delivered to the servant. But we would not give up. We would somehow climb a bench or parapet and peep into the basket. I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. Loaves for the elders and bangles for the children's. Next, so bagels for the children. So who are we in this extract? We in the extract refers to the narrator and his friends. Why could he not fly over the either side of the storm clouds? The kids were pushed aside so that the bread could be delivered to the servants. Then, which word or a phrase in the extract means the same as an expression of disapproval or a scolding? The word rebuke, which means the same. Next, what was there in the basket? There were some loaves for the elders and some bagels for the children. Bagel spelling is wrong here, children. So, children, we have covered the summary of this chapter, the important aspect of Glimpses of India. You know the conclusion, why it has been written. Next is, you know all the keywords which you have to write to impress the evaluator. Please go back, make a note of all the important keywords which have been mentioned, write it down, learn it, and then try to frame your sentences. You will see once try doing it, you will see the difference in your answers on your own, right? Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel Easy Patashala. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel because it gives us a lot of motivation to create more such videos and help you to get about 95% in your board examinations. Our only more motive is to get boost your score to a high percentage, right? Even if you're scoring 65%, 55% in your pre-board examinations, please don't be demotivated. You are capable of getting 90 to 95% in your board examinations. Please follow all these videos, make a good timer, have the strategy plans and roadmaps video being seen, see all our tips that have been given in the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are also available on Instagram. You have any queries, please put it on the comment section. Don't forget to comment anything that you feel has to be required from your side. Please comment it down or DM us in our Instagram as well. We'll be very quick in our response as well. All the students, you have got this. You'll get very great marks. All the best. Thank you.